Alright, so the responses to Eminem's album Revival have been mixed. A lot of critics have been saying a lot of bad things about it, but it still debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 charts. That being said, the most successful song from this album, one of my personal favorites, and one that has been requested by a lot of you guys, is River featuring Ed Sheeran. And to be honest, it sounds pretty cool. It sounds almost like he's trying to recapture some of the magic of his collabs with Rihanna. And Ed Sheeran's a fantastic guy to come in and write some of the lyrics and to put the choruses into the song. And actually, when Eminem decided to do the song, he had Ed Sheeran write the chorus first and then wrote his raps based off of that. So let's start in the same place that Eminem started, with the chorus. I've been a liar, been a thief, been a lover, been a cheat. All my sins need holy water, feel it washing over me. Well, little one, I don't want to admit to something if all it's gonna cause is pain. Truth and my lies right now are fallen like the rain, so let the river run. We have this really interesting introduction to this really interesting character who's talking to a little one, some child, and who has lived a full life of doing bad things. Lying, stealing, cheating, and he's got a lot of sins, and not only does he need holy water to clean him, but he feels like he's done so many bad things, he needs a river of holy water to clean him. And interestingly, he prefaces the verses by saying truth and lies are falling like the rain, so we can believe some of what we're about to hear, but we have to hold it loosely, which gives you and me as song meaning enthusiasts a peculiar challenge. So let's jump into verse 1. We see immediately that there's this love triangle. Some girl is really mad at her boyfriend, so she decides to have sex with Eminem. Talking about this other dude, on his breath's Jack, he's a sex addict and she just wants to exact revenge and get back. He calls their relationship a chess match, which is a really interesting picture. Eminem then talking about himself, and one of the more forced puns that happened on this album, says, actually just shit on my last chick and she has what my ex lacks. Shit, X lacks, get it? And he acknowledges that you don't F with no man's girl, even I know that, but she's devised some plan to stab him in the back. And so he's like, all right, well, maybe this will work out and it won't be such a big deal. And then we have a really good pun here. He says, knife in hand, saying the relationship's hanging by a strand. She's been on the web lately, says maybe she'll be my Gwen Stacy to spite her man. Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, web, a strand. That one was actually pretty cool. And he basically says, all right, I'll go along with it. And then after another iteration of the chorus, we have a really cool version of a bridge that'll show up again later that acts more as like a post-chorus, and it basically just says that one night stand turned into a two-night stand. In verse 2, the other dude figures out what happened, and now Eminem's like, oh, I was gonna break up with this girl, and now she's feeling like used and abused, and if I break up with her, she's gonna feel used and abused by me, even though she started it. And so he decides to write a song about it, and decides to be a little bit meta. Don't want this to hurt, but what you deserve is the truth. Don't take it personal. I just can't say this in person to you, so I revert to the studio. Like hole-in-the-wall diners don't have to be reserved in a booth. Get it? Booth, studio, diners, reserved, booth. It all connects. And then he starts to admit some of the terrible things that he's done. I prayed on you like it's church at the pew. Oh, that's a pretty good one too. And now that I got you, I don't want you. Took advantage of my thirst to pursue. Why do I do this dirt that I do? And the rhymes might be a little bit simplistic there, but I think the sentiment is very strong. And surprise, surprise, this other woman is pregnant. He says, cause now with her in the womb, we can't bring her in this world. Shoulda knew to use protection for I bit into your forbidden fruit. And then he yells the F word, like he's really mad. And so that little kid that Ed Sheeran mentioned in the chorus might be this kid. And then we come finally to verse 3. And Eminem tells us that if life was a highway, he'd be swerving in 5 lanes because feels like his life is so out of control. He says, I can't keep my lies straight, but I made you terminate my baby. This love triangle left us in a rectangle. And now he reveals that maybe his apology wasn't just to the other woman, it was to this child that he had aborted. Bet I really would have loved your smile. Didn't really want to abort, but F it. What's one more lie to tell our unborn child? Gosh, oh my gosh. I know where Eminem stands politically on Donald Trump. I don't know his stance on abortion, but it feels like such a huge regret for what he's done in his life and that led him up to that decision here. For him to try to console the child and say, I didn't want to abort you, but then for him to say, actually, no, that's a lie in the moment I did. Even though now he thinks he would have really loved her smile. Oh my gosh, like that is such like a climactic, like well put together ending there. And I love what he does in the bridge where he says, call me river, we'll let the river run. So not only is this river of holy water something that he feels like he needs to clean himself with, but he's also the river that's running from its problems. Guys, I think that River by Ed Sheeran and Eminem has a couple of problems with it, but it's overall a fantastic song. And we should point out too that Eminem's not the one who did all of this stuff, it's his narrator who's doing it. He's writing from somebody else's perspective, but he's doing a really good job at it. Apart from the X-Lax pun. That Spider-Man pun was really good though. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this explanation of River by Eminem featuring Ed Sheeran. What Eminem song should I explain next? Please comment it down below, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time.